y'all. Gabrielle here. I've been working with the word self-care. And in this blog, I want to discuss how I've been living it for the past week and a half, and some of the points that I've realized through walking this process, and points that have supported me to change. So first and foremost, I realize with living words in general is patience is required. Also discipline, because I've realized that it takes specificity to make this living word process in a way easier. Because the more specific you are in living a word in your reality, kind of mapping it out, the easier it is to integrate it and remember it and live it in your reality. Because obviously we have become automated in our patterns, personalities, and we're going to need specific anchors, so to speak, to anchor us back into our physical bodies, back into our breath, presence, and remember to live a new word that is supportive. So I found working with one word, a main word, has been cool to focus on. But also I've realized through walking this process of living words that more words are also you live more words as you live one word. So like words of persistence, discipline, expansion, specificity. These words I have not been so good in living. I mean, it's easier to be lazy and to not really have to be so disciplined in the day-to-day. Do it and what I want in terms of what feels good, things like that. That's the easy life, but in reality, it's more consequential, and it obviously living words of discipline, persistence, patience, specificity, having those ingrained within me, being able to be disciplined, taking on a task and doing it to the best of my ability in a disciplined way, is going to make me a more empowered person, because I can trust myself in those words, which will support me to be able to move in my reality, to become more substantial, to be able to create. So those are just some kind of specific words that I've been practicing with living this word care and kind of living the word process in my day-to-day living, or in my day-to-day application of words. So living the word care, I started off first with a morning routine, because I kind of found that when I woke up in the morning, I usually could go into a depressed mode, especially if I was going to work. Kind of the same routine over and over again, I have found creates this kind of like depressed feeling. So what I've been doing to live care for myself, to kind of embrace and take care of who I am within, to nurture the life and the expression and the creativity, to be able to create my reality, to be able to have that passion to move myself and face what I have to face in my reality. Living the word care is kind of like a nurturing thing for me. And that word nurture was brought up in a buddy chat that I'm going to look at soon. I think that was brought up Yeah, it was actually last week. I haven't had a chance to look at it, but that just reminded me to do that. So I'll look at that word more, but the word care. So what I've been doing is in the mornings I have been waking up and first giving myself a hug. So it's interesting because I don't know if anybody has given themselves a hug. So it's like it's kind of like a strange thing, but I do it in a way of absolute embrace, like kind of for a moment being in that hug, giving myself a nice embrace. I care for me. I am taking care of myself. I love myself. I realize that I'm life, like the best of me. In that embrace, that's what I'm embracing of myself, the best of myself. Realizing that I can create that. And through that embrace, becoming solid, stable within me. Realizing that I do have the capacity, the capabilities, and the support of myself to walk what I have to walk what I have to face in terms of changing the not so nice or positive or good behaviors of myself, that which doesn't support myself or others is abusive, basically. Facing those points within myself and changing them to the best. So yeah, this embrace in the morning has been really cool. And also in those moments, talking to myself, like kind of recognizing what I've walked thus far, what I've been through, and what I've changed for myself, and what I've pushed to be a better version of who I am. And I have made changes, I have made progress. So those are things that I can be proud of, and I kind of recognize that within myself in that embrace. And that's been supportive to remember who I am, not get lost in the mind fucks of abuse, self-abuse. So it's a point of reaffirming my understanding and embracement of who I am as life, as the best of me, as my creativity and expression, and beyond my flaws, or beyond my points of limitation that I've accepted. Realizing that, yes, it's something that I've done, but now I'm here walking my process of change and supporting myself to be better. So that's been a support that I've used to kind of start my day off in a way of embracement, self-care, self-support, recognizing that I need to give this to myself, because if I don't, no one's going to. If I don't respect myself, if I don't care for myself, how can I expect other people to do that for me? So I'm living these words for myself to be able to be fulfilled in these words, that I don't need it from others. I live this as me, and I give it. As you give, you receive. So it's been pretty enjoyable living this word. I also recognize that there's layers of care, so caring for myself, caring for my community, caring for the global community. I've been practicing in the community level, specifically at work, supporting with taking responsibility for points of reaction that I've done. Say I've quickly reacted to someone and said something that I regret, I would do my forgiveness, realize my responsibility, and address that person and apologize and realize and let them know that I am recognizing my mistake or points of reactions, and I'm working within myself to correct myself to not accept and allow that behavior to continue. So kind of opening the communication that I am recognizing who I am, who I was in that interaction, that I don't find it acceptable, and I'm sorry that you had to go through that, and I'm I'm changing myself to be able to handle that situation better. So that's a point of care I've been practicing within my community to support relationships and support myself in the relationships I interact with others. How can I make it so it is beneficial and uplifting and can grow, not diminishing, because that's definitely, if I go into that reaction, then diminishment can be an outflow as well. So it's a constant point of directing self and pushing change and investigation, self-investigation, self-forgiveness. So that's a point that I've been living for the community level of caring for fellow people. On a global scale, I have been, it's not like a huge thing, but I've been, instead of using paper towels, I've been using the hand dryer in our bathroom, because I become impatient with it, so I usually just use paper towels and throw it in recycling. And it's just a patience thing. So I've been caring for the environment just in that little way of doing the hand dryer instead of pulling paper towel, and thus using trees up, and when I can just blow it dry, do it for a couple seconds and then wipe it on my hands and my pants. So that's one global care I've been applying for this week, just to support myself to think in those levels: self-care, community care, my fellow community around me, my environment, and then global care. So that's been some applications I've been living to support myself with living the word care. Thanks for listening. Enjoy.